So often we see videos where people are showing their perspective of their class or whatever, and what we don't often get along with that is what's going on in their heads during the encounter, why they're doing the rotation they're doing. So I wanted to set up a little series where as I'm fighting these bosses, I'm explaining why I'm casting what I'm casting, why I'm doing whatever and moving to wherever at any given instance, so that maybe, you know, folks who are trying to become better disc priest players can maybe get some insight into my style of playing. I need to point that out. There's many different styles of playing. My style tends to be more of an AOE type style, and you know, the decisions I make are reflected in that approach. So with this series, hopefully I can impart some knowledge and help some folks improve their skills playing disc. Now in this fight you have two distinct phases. The first phase you fight the dual bosses and a couple of ads they put up. They put up some bombs and with lasers, and they bring out the spirit of Zuen, which is only in heroic. Second phase you have to navigate a maze and you have to destroy a barrier at the other end. Now typically as I start this fight I'm putting out a lot of atonements, shielding, etc., and basically you know, just trying to do as much raid healing as possible. Now when these red swirlies come out, there's a distinct possibility that your teammates can get shot up in the air. You can be a hero with them if you can levitate them when they come back into range, or life grip them. At a certain point in the fight, these bombs pop up with the lasers. I tend to leave off the raid healing and go assist with them because there is a mist around them which does a LOS to the rest of the folks that are inside. So I'll get in and I'll put some I'll put down some shields and some Shadow Word Pain and things like that to try to help burn down the bomb. But you got to watch out for the laser. So you get inside the ring here, put down a shield or two, do some defensive penances if you need to, but you know, I try to assist with that as possible. And then the Spirit of Zuen, of course you have to switch to that. Typically I rely on, in this fight, the raid lead to call out our targets. Although when the ads come out, I go ahead and automatically switch to them. So at this point now, I'm trying to keep up atonements, extending them with evangelism. I'll do my Shadow Word Covenant when I can. Halos, there's a lot of raid-wide damage going out in this fight. And then focus on the boss that the raid lead calls out as the target at the moment. The reason I rely on the raid lead to call that out is because there's a lot going on and I don't have time to really pay attention to the mechanics of the fight. It's much easier to rely on them. Now, in this phase, of course, you have the maze. I'll body and soul myself for a speed boost. Often I will do Rapture here, although I didn't in this fight. But I will do Rapture and give shields and speed boost to my teammates. And what I will tend to do is, as I get towards the end, I won't go all the way to the end of the maze. This little pocket right up here, which I'll be in range of healing, I will first drop a barrier up there to assist with healing, and then I will hang out in this little spot here and you know, do as much atonement healing as I can. So I'll do radiances, I'll extend them if I have the opportunity with evangelism, and then, you know, I'll halo, and then I'll attack the barrier, and it's just attempt to keep as, you know, as even a set of atonement and damage as I can. Now, two reasons I stay out here, one of which is because I don't want to lose the time it takes to run around the rest of the maze when I can stop and start casting and being productive here. Secondly, because the next phase I can already be running towards where the bosses pop back up, and what I'll tend to do is give the tanks body and soul to get them as quickly as possible to the tank, and then continue on with my healing at this point. Now what I'll do is I'll, again, Radiance, I will extend the atonements with evangelism, and I'll start up my my standard rotation. Now there are debuffs to heal, so just pay attention to that. Pay attention to people getting shot up in the air. And at this point, it's really a tank and spank. I stay on the bosses that my raid lead points me to, and keep as many atonements up as possible, and you know, basically try to do as much damage throughput as I can to heal as many people. And basically that's the end of the fight. So we'll just, you know, run this out by you know, tanking and spanking. This is really a DPS race because you want to get the Mestra down quickly so you can turn and do Manta Ray. But you know, it's if you get to this point, typically you're in pretty good shape, and the fight's won. So as I said, you know, dispelling, keeping up atonements, you know, through shielding or however, whatever purpose, you know, whatever way you can, Shadow Covenants, Halos, you know, all the raid-wide healing possible, and you'll very quickly finish off the fight.
No, it's okay. You've got time. Use it when it's up. Go get that. Get all three when yours is up. Get all three. Okay, air comes on him.
All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for coming by. If you have any questions or suggestions on better ways to play, just leave me a comment. Try not to be a troll. I know there's better ways probably than how I run this. And I know that you know, there's lots better disc priests out there than I am, but this is how I play. Always up for suggestions. Thanks for your time.
You know,
whatever
was done. That was actually surprising to me.